How's it going, everyone? Mario here, and another inside week on SPY and QQQ. But this week, markets did give us some opportunities to open some swing trading positions on INTU and BYD. We do have some stocks on watch list which might set up on Monday, like ALV. We'll discuss about them in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get started. The first stock on the watch list we have is BYD, Boyd Gaming Corporation. Let's start with the weekly charts. This setup falls under breakout and retest, and if you see the weekly time frames, all the way since 2021 of April, all the way towards right now, which is on around 2025. The stock has been rejecting the $70 to $50 to $71 zones over and over and over again, and they finally broke out. So now they are above the area again with a gap up. They're consolidating about the zone. And we established our starter positions at $75 and we averaged up at 75.30s. This is a low risk setup for swing trades, what we're expecting, as long as they don't come back down under the $71 zones and start losing the $71. I am planning on keeping this position on the table. So this is a low risk entry sort of trade, which means if you see the price lose to $71, we will know that we are wrong and we can just cut it immediately. So the total risk exposed at this moment is 0.5% of the entire portfolio. So for now, we're going to keep these positions until and unless you see them lose this $71. And if you go to the 15-minute time frame, you can see that the 5-day moving average, the blue line right here, the 5-day moving average is still sloping to the upside. The trend for the last 5 trading days is still to the upside. It's still sloping up, looking good. And if you go to the daily charts and look at the daily time frames, you can see them, just a minute. Yeah, you can see the 50-day moving average sloping up, 200 sloping up, 20-day moving average sloping higher. So what we're expecting here for the price to do is to clear this $75.70 or even the $76.30 zones. If that happens, we might potentially see this move towards this $80 zones. So now, even if they don't do it, we will know that we are wrong and we can just exit the positions for a small loss of like 0.5% of the entire portfolio. And we'll know that we're wrong immediately and we can just cut it. So these are the type of setups which I like to be involved in, and this falls under the category of breakout and retest. It's just from the weekly time frame. So we already established our positions on this name last week. Now we're just going to let the trend do the work for us. If you're wrong, we're wrong. We'll lose 0.5%. But if you're right, we will be expecting this to push all the way towards this $80 zones, and then we can make the changes accordingly. By making the changes, I mean taking some profits off the table. So this is BYD. The next stock which we have on the watch list and which we also have initial starter positions on is INTU. So this is not a break and retest, but this is one of those pattern-based trades where one of those famous patterns, cup and handle. If you go to the monthly charts, you can see it clearly. This starts from December of 2021. You can see a beautiful cup right here, and then the handle forming from 2024 to 2025, and then they're finally breaking out. So if you go to the daily time frame, this is one of our bread and butter sort of setups. You can see them capping higher above for the earnings, and now you just anchor the VWAP, this red line which you see. This is the AVWAP anchored from this earnings gap up candle. So we did establish our initial positions at $754. When the position was established, I was clear that I just want to test the waters right here. The setup is looking great. So let me just test the waters right now, and if they do come back or pull back towards this AVWAP coming from this earnings candle, find buyers right here. I will average up and complete the positions and move my stop losses up towards this 714 or maybe perhaps towards whatever lows they make if they do come back towards this area and then start bouncing up. So this is a beautiful name, looking great. So I'm not expecting this to make money immediately at this moment, especially with a starter risk of 0.2%. What I'm planning on doing is I just want to establish small positions right here, and if they do pull back down the line and I want to add more and complete the positions on the same. And of course, I will let you guys know when I average up. And if you want real-time updates, check out the Patreon, or if you want to trade live with me, check out the links down below in the description and you can just join and we can just trade together. So this is INTU, looking great uptrend, and cup and handle formation breaking out. It turns out to be a bullish signal for the stock, and the monthly candle closed significantly stronger as well. So if they do come back or pull back, these types of gaps doesn't get filled immediately. Look into breakaway gaps or runaway gaps if you want to learn more about the gaps which I'm talking about. So when we're swing trading, these are the only types of setups which we typically go for, right? The breakaway gaps or runaway gaps in a strong uptrend. and then we just trade the follow through and continuation. So looking at this chart right here, our cost average right now is $754 and change. And if they do come back towards 741 and find buyers from this AV VAP coming from those earnings, we will add more into the positions to complete the same and move our stop losses up accordingly. So the current risk on this one is 0.2%, and we will add more down the line. Maybe perhaps next week is going to give us an opportunity to do the same. So if you go to the shorter time frames, you can see the 5-day moving average sloping to the upside. The trend is still to the upside on the shorter time frames. If you look at the larger time frames, the trend is still up over there as well. Like the 50-day moving average is sloping up, 20-day moving average is sloping up, and you can see a golden cross right here on the daily as well. So we'll wait and see. If they do pull back a little bit, it's going to give us an opportunity to complete the positions. And what I'm expecting this to do here is maybe perhaps rally all the way up towards this big fat round number at $1,000. If they do so, it's going to be a great trade for us, and we can just be one and done sort of thing for the entire month. So if this works out, it's going to be a nice 4 to 5 to 6 hour trades in the bag, and we can just call it a month early. So this is INTU, startup positions already established, and we will add more down the line depending on what they do, on how they perform into the next upcoming month. So the next setup which we do have on the watch list is ALV. We already discussed about this a little bit into the last week's video, but it didn't give us any opportunity to enter when we do start at a position, because they did break about this 103s, but now on Friday they did retest the same. But now into the next week, we just want to make sure that they are holding on towards this 103, and if they're going to follow through. If you're going to go to the smaller time frames like 15 minutes, you can see the price trading under the 5-day moving average. So into next week, the plan is pretty simple. We need the price to get back over this blue line which you see on the screen, the 5-day moving average. If they can get over this 104 and start bouncing to the upside, we will establish initial positions, but this time our stop losses are going to be at 102. This is another example of a breakout and retest. If you go to the weekly time frames, you can see the price consolidating from 2024 of July all the way towards right now. And now if they do start to break higher, what we will be looking for is the price running all the way towards this 110 to 115 area. That's going to be the trade which we are looking for. So let's wait and see what happens. And into next week, this is a trade which I'll be looking for. We were looking to establish positions on this name last week, but it didn't give us any opportunities. They rallied up, they didn't come back. But on Friday, they did. Into next week, we are going to be keeping an eye out for it. The monthly candle close is pretty significant. There is a gap which needs to be filled at around this 110 area. So this is on a daily time frame. 110 gap is currently at 18th of July 2024. So if they do push through into next week, if they do recover the 5-day moving average into next week at around this 104s, we will set our stop losses at 102 and take it all the way up towards this 110 area for a nice 3 to 4 hour trades to the upside. So this is going to be the one trade which I'll be watching for. If it happens, it happens, or else we'll wait until it happens. If they get back down under this area of interest, under the zone, this will be invalidated. For now, on Monday, not one of those trades where like you just open immediately as soon as the market opens. Wait for the price to get back over 104, which is the 5-day moving average, and then we can deal with it accordingly. So for now, keep it on the watch list, wait and see how it builds, and if they continue to the upside, we will take it accordingly. So for now, we have 2 positions on the portfolio, BYD and INTU. The next one which we are watching for a potential positioning is ALV. And I will let you guys know if I enter anything or if I get stopped out on anything, of course. And if you want real-time updates, just check out the Patreon. Link is down below in the description. As always, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the weekend and have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye. Take care.